Stick around as we unwrap 13 forgotten traditions that'll make you wish you had a time machine. 1. Christmas morning stockings. Picture this. It's Christmas morning, 1920. The house is quiet, but excitement buzzes in the air. Kids aren't rushing to the fireplace, they're on a mission throughout the house. You see, back then, stockings weren't just hung by the chimney with care. They popped up in the most unexpected places. Little Susie might find hers dangling from her bedpost, while Johnny's could be hiding behind the pantry door. Some families even tucked them into coat pockets or draped them over chair backs. Inside, children discovered an array of small treasures, maybe a shiny penny, some nuts and candies, or even a small wooden toy. This wasn't just gift-giving. It was a full-on Christmas morning treasure hunt. And trust me, the thrill of the search made those simple gifts feel extra special. But hold on to your Santa hat, because we've got another hidden surprise coming up that'll really tickle your fancy. 2. The Christmas pickle. Picture this. It's Christmas morning, and instead of rushing to open presents, everyone's searching the tree for a pickle? Believe it or not, this peculiar custom was once a cherished part of holiday celebrations. The Christmas pickle tradition involves hiding a small glass pickle ornament deep within the branches of the tree. But here's where things get interesting. No one really knows where this tradition came from. Some folks say it's an old German custom, brought over by immigrants in the 19th century. Others swear it started with a Civil War soldier who was saved by, you guessed it, a pickle. But don't bet your Christmas pudding on that story. There's not much proof to back it up. So why go through all this trouble for a glass veggie? Well, the first person to spot the pickle on Christmas morning gets an extra present or a year of good luck. Talk about motivation. It's a fun way to bring the family together, add a little friendly competition to the holiday, and create lasting memories. Who knew a pickle could be so powerful? 3. Christmas tree. Decorating parties. Ever wondered how people managed to decorate their Christmas trees before the age of convenient pre-lit artificial trees? The answer lies in a forgotten tradition that transformed a simple task into a community celebration. Picture this. It's a chilly December evening in 1920, and the Johnson family's living room is buzzing with excitement. The smell of fresh pine fills the air as neighbors and friends gather around, eagerly awaiting the arrival of the Christmas tree. Kids are giggling, adults are chatting, and everyone's ready to lend a hand. As the tree is brought in, the real fun begins. Families work together, stringing up the newly invented electric lights, a safer alternative to the candles some still used. Homemade ornaments are carefully hung, each with its own story. Store-bought decorations mix with handcrafted treasures, creating a tree that's uniquely theirs. The finished tree is a sight to behold, twinkling with lights and adorned with love. Beneath it, a miniature train set chugs along, surrounded by a tiny village. It's more than just a decoration. It's the heart of the home, bringing everyone together. 4. Kissing under the mistletoe. Imagine leaning in for a romantic holiday kiss, only to realize you're standing under the wrong plant. In 1920s America, this scenario wasn't just a possibility. It was a common occurrence that sparked both laughter and unexpected romance. The mistletoe tradition was alive and well in 1920s America, but there was a catch. People often confused mistletoe with other festive greenery like holly or evergreen branches. Picture this. A dapper young gentleman spots a sprig of green hanging in a doorway at a Christmas party. He confidently leads his sweetheart beneath it, only to discover it's just a leftover piece of garland. These mix-ups led to some seriously comical situations. Couples would pucker up under all sorts of decorations, from pine boughs to paper streamers. But here's the kicker. These mistaken kisses often led to real romance. It turns out that a little holiday confusion was just the spark some couples needed. 5. Sending postcards instead of cards. Picture this. It's Christmas 1925, and your mailbox is overflowing with colorful greetings from loved ones near and far. But these aren't the cards you're used to seeing today. What made these holiday messages so special, and why did they capture the hearts of an entire generation? In the Roaring '20s, Christmas postcards were all the rage. Why? Well, they were the perfect blend of festive cheer and penny-pinching practicality. For just 1 cent, you could send your season's greetings across the country. That's right, a single penny could spread joy from coast to coast. These postcards weren't just cheap, they were also eye-catching. Imagine vibrant scenes of Santa Claus, snowy landscapes, and twinkling Christmas trees, all printed with the latest techniques. And the messages? They ranged from heartfelt wishes to cheeky jokes that captured the spirit of the era. 6. The Christmas Dinner Bell. Picture this. It's Christmas Day in 1920. The house is filled with festive aromas, but everyone's eyes are fixed on a single, unassuming object. What could command such attention amidst all the holiday splendor? In the bustling kitchen of a 1920s home, the air is thick with the scent of roasting meats and baking desserts. Family members mill about, sneaking peeks at the oven and setting the table with the finest china. But there's an undercurrent of anticipation, all eyes darting occasionally to the gleaming dinner bell perched on the countertop. Suddenly, the clear chime of the bell rings out, and the house erupts into excitement. Children dash from their play, adults set aside their conversations, and everyone hurries to take their place at the table. The dinner bell, a simple yet powerful tradition, has worked its Christmas magic once again. As the family gathers, they're greeted by a feast straight out of the new Butterick cookbook. Maybe it's a golden roast goose surrounded by crispy potato stuffing and vibrant string beans. Or perhaps it's a succulent roast beef, complete with fluffy Yorkshire pudding. Whatever the main course, you can bet that a steaming English plum pudding is waiting in the wings for dessert. 7. The Yule Log. Picture this. Families venturing into snowy woods, searching for a special log that would become the heart of their Christmas celebration. What made this piece of wood so important? And why did its selection require such care? In 1920s America, the Yule log was more than just firewood. It was a symbol of warmth, unity, and good fortune. Families would brave the winter chill to find the perfect log, a task that often turned into a festive adventure. Once home, they'd decorate it with greenery, transforming it into a true centerpiece. On Christmas Eve, the log would be lit, filling the room with a cozy glow. As flames danced, families gathered around, sharing stories and creating memories. They believed the longer the log burned, the more luck it would bring in the coming year. But as central heating became more common, this crackling tradition began to fade. In cities where firewood was scarce, families got creative, using smaller logs or even symbolic representations. 8. Christmas Eve Bonfire. Think Christmas Eve is all about staying indoors? Not in the 1920s. As the sun set on December 24th, something remarkable happened in town squares across America. A tradition so powerful it united entire communities in a way we can hardly imagine today. Let's uncover the magic of the Christmas Eve bonfire. Picture this. It's a crisp winter evening in 1920. The town square is buzzing with excitement as families bundle up and head out into the cold. Why? Because tonight's the night of the big Christmas Eve bonfire. Kids are running around, their eyes wide with wonder, while adults chat and laugh, sharing holiday cheer. Getting ready for this special night was no small task. Community leaders and local churches would spend days organizing the event, gathering wood and making sure everything was safe. Families would pitch in too, bringing treats to share and logs to add to the fire. As the flames leaped high into the night sky, the real magic began. People huddled close, sharing stories and singing carols. The warmth of the fire matched the warmth in people's hearts as neighbors became friends and strangers became family. It was more than just a bonfire, it was a celebration of community spirit. Handmade gifts and decorations. Imagine a Christmas where store-bought gifts were the exception, not the rule. In the 1920s, families turned everyday household items into treasures. But what sparked this wave of creativity? And how did it change the meaning of gift-giving forever? Back in the Roaring '20s, handmade gifts weren't just a trendy DIY project. They were often the only presents exchanged. Families got creative with what they had on hand, knitting socks and mittens, or sewing scarves from fabric scraps. It wasn't always easy, especially as the decade wore on and money got tight. But that's when American ingenuity really shone through. Christmas trees of the era looked a bit different too. Forget fancy glass baubles. These trees were decked out with stringed popcorn, pine cones, and homemade paper chains. Some families even cut snowflakes from paper to add a touch of winter wonder. These simple decorations weren't just pretty. They were symbols of love and togetherness. 10. Holiday gift tables. Picture this. It's Christmas morning in the Roaring '20s. You rush downstairs, but instead of heading straight for the tree, your eyes are drawn to something else entirely. What could possibly rival the allure of presents under the tree? Let's unwrap the story of a holiday tradition that's been lost to time. In 1920s America, families had a special way of displaying their Christmas generosity: the gift table. This wasn't just any old piece of furniture. It was a stage for holiday magic. Imagine a table decked out in festive decorations with carefully wrapped presents of all shapes and sizes. The anticipation in the room was electric as family members circled the table, trying to guess which gift might be theirs. These presents weren't just store-bought trinkets. Many were lovingly handmade: warm socks, cozy mittens, or carefully knitted gloves. For families pinching pennies, these might be the only gifts they could afford. But that didn't dampen the excitement one bit. Kids' eyes would light up at the sight of a shiny new wagon or a set of roller skates. The lucky ones might even spot a coveted toy train set or a Raggedy Ann doll. 11. Caroling with lanterns. Picture this. It's Christmas Eve, 1920. The streets are dark, but a warm glow is approaching your house. As the sound of familiar carols grows louder, you realize this isn't just any group of singers. What made these 1920s carolers so special, and why did their visits often end with an invitation inside? In the 1920s, caroling wasn't just about the music. It was a magical light show that brightened the darkest winter nights. Without streetlights to guide their way, carolers carried glass and metal lanterns that cast a cozy, flickering glow. These weren't just practical tools. They were symbols of hope and community spirit. As carolers wandered through neighborhoods on Christmas Eve or Christmas night, their lanterns created a mesmerizing spectacle. Imagine the enchanting scene: voices harmonizing on classics like Adeste Fideles and Auld Lang Syne, while the warm light danced across snow-covered lawns. It's no wonder families often invited these festive visitors inside for a warm drink and a chat. 12. Christmas Eve open house parties. Ever wondered how your great-grandparents celebrated Christmas Eve? Picture this: a home filled with the aroma of freshly baked treats, the sound of impromptu carol singing, and a constant stream of visitors from dusk till dawn. Welcome to the 1920s open house party, a tradition that redefined holiday hospitality. But what sparked this festive phenomenon, and why did it fade away? Imagine it's Christmas Eve, 1920. The living room is decked out with homemade decorations, and Mom's been busy in the kitchen all day. Why? Because tonight, the door's wide open to anyone who wants to stop by. That's right. In the 1920s, families threw open house parties, welcoming friends, neighbors, and even strangers into their homes. The air is filled with the smell of roast goose and plum pudding, straight from recipes in the new Butterick cookbook. Platters of cookies and cakes cover every surface, ready for hungry guests. As people arrive, they join in singing carols, playing games, and sharing stories. It's a joyful mess of laughter, chatter, and spontaneous fun. 13. The Christmas Angel. Imagine a time when a heavenly figure rivaled Santa Claus in 1920s Christmas decor. The Christmas angel, perched atop trees and adorning mantles, became a symbol of peace and goodwill during the holiday season. But this wasn't just about pretty decorations. It represented a deeper conflict between tradition and the growing commercialization of Christmas. Families crafted these angelic guardians from glass, fabric, and paper, often adding personal touches that made each one unique. Some angels sparkled with glitter, while others were adorned with delicate lace. These handmade creations weren't just decorations. They were a way for families to infuse their celebrations with spiritual meaning. As Santa Claus grew in popularity, representing the more secular aspects of the holiday, the Christmas angel stood as a reminder of the season's religious roots. It was as if these two figures were competing for the heart of Christmas itself. Which one do you think would have graced your family's home in the 1920s?